video on your psych and trading. I've came from a really rough background, you could say. Gambling was a very, very big part of my life. I basically gambled every payout I've ever gotten. Obviously, not now, but I promise you, if I can do this shit, anybody can do this shit. It might have took me 2 years, but I really wanted to break down a lot of key points, which I have here. I'll show you guys my P&L. I've taken two payouts on this 5 stack. This was the first one. It was around 1,700 on all five, and then I took another one here for another. I think it was like 12, 1,300 each account. Ended up making 15.7K in 20 days. I pulled one on the 21st and then the 11th. And now I'm back to getting another one. So I'm going to start off with suffering is optional, pain is unavoidable. This doesn't necessarily align perfectly with trading, but what I will say is if you endure some sort of pain in your life, something that is unavoidable, let's say you lose a family member, let's say your house burns down, something in that aspect, obviously that pain is unavoidable. You're going to feel that pain and you have to find a way to get around that pain. It's not easy, obviously. But on the other hand, suffering is optional. Once you do something, let's say you overtrade, you're one day away from a payout and you end up blowing the account, and you're suffering over and over for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden you can't even pass an eval to save your life. All of this suffering is optional. You are essentially making yourself suffer because of all your thoughts going through your brain that you're giving power to. 90% of our thoughts aren't real. That's what a lot of people need to understand, and how you can make a fake reality in your head to become true. But if you don't put actions behind any thoughts, your thoughts are irrelevant. That's the first point. Our feelings don't come from external events, but our own thinking about events. Now, what does this mean exactly? Essentially, how we think is how we feel. So if let's say we're building this fake scenario in our head. Let's say dream car, dream job, which is trading, right? Let's say dream house and dream wife. Okay? Essentially, you're building up a reality in your head based off of these select things, right? Everything in trading and in your life is essentially about how you think, because how you think is how you feel. So if you think, oh, I'm going to get my dream car, I'm going to get my dream house, I'm going to find this girl that I love, and that's all this is all you think about all the time, but you put no actions behind any of this, right? Let's say you have 0 actions behind this. A lot of people just think one day something or somebody is just going to come save them and everything's going to be okay. I'll be the first to tell you that is never going to happen, and you will never get what you want until you actually put in the work to get it. So how you feel, how you think becomes how you feel. So if you think, and you go into the market and you think, oh, like, I'm going to make $1,000 today, I'm going to, when I get this payout, I'm going to feel this way or this way. You're essentially building a fake reality in your head that's affecting your trading. Now, doing this, thinking about these things is not bad. You're supposed to build a fake reality in your head, put actions behind your thoughts, and that's how you will get X, Y, and Z. But in the aspect of trading, you can't think about these things when you're trading. You have to essentially become a robot to your system, and be present. The second you start thinking about all of these things, right? Your mind goes from not looking for your setup that is back tested and has a high win rate. You're now trading to get these things, which is not going to work. I hate to break it to you. If you're trading to get your dream car and get your dream job and do all these things, and it's not going to work. Deep down, yes, this is what we trade for. We want to have nice things. You want to be on our own time. But if that's all you're thinking about and you're never in the present moment, you're never going to be able to execute truly and have your edge really start working. Let's go to the next point. So we live through a perception of reality, not reality of itself. This is a really big point. A lot of people have different perceptions on life, right? Let's say two people go into a coffee shop and they both sit down and they both have the same exact coffee and they're both in the same exact job. But let's say one person is happy that they have a job and they're paying their bills and they have kids they go home to, and the other person is hating their life because they hate the job they're in. They're both looking at the same exact computer with the same exact work in the same exact coffee shop, drinking the same exact coffee. The only difference is the perception of your actual reality. At the end of the day, it's how you perceive things. If you take a loss on the charts and you can't take a loss, and your perception is, I don't know what happened, like, I need to get this loss back, I need to do this, I need to do that, you're cooked. You have to start understanding that your perception of reality is what you perceive it as. Everybody has a different take on everything, everybody has a different strategy, everybody has different ambitions, everybody has different stories to be told, but at the end of the day, everything is how you perceive it. So if you are perceiving trading as something that you can make money quick with and you're going to be so happy when you do all these things, it's not going to happen like that at all. It's never going to be like that. Trading is the hardest way to make easy money. Let's go to the next point. This is another really big point. Control what you can, not what you can't. So at the end of the day, we have absolutely zero control over the stock market, no matter what anybody says. Yes, we have an edge with a win rate that's been backtested over years of data. I understand that. But we have absolutely no say in what the market's going to do and how it's going to do it. Who knows? We could get, Iran could bomb us fucking tomorrow and the market crashes as you're in a perfect long. Nothing is controllable inside the market besides your own actions and emotions. You need to start learning to act off of reactiveness and not act off your emotions and actions. When you see your setup, when you hesitate, you're essentially letting your emotions come into play. You have to completely block out emotions and actions. You have to be so present in the current moment and trade what you know how to trade and how you know how to trade. You're never going to ever be able to make trading work if you can't be present in the moment and take the same setup every single day and become a robot to your system. It's just not going to happen. Stop building fake scenarios in your head. Once you're going to be profitable, this is only hurting you. At the end of the day, it's good to build scenarios in your head. It's good to understand you can have certain things when you reach a certain point. But let's say you're one day away from a payout and you're saying, oh, once I get this payout, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna get this car. I'm gonna be like my life's gonna change. I'm gonna be happy after this payout. You're hurting yourself. This goes right back to being in the present moment. You have to be present in the current moment in order to execute how you would like to. So stop building these fake scenarios in your fucking head. Thinking you're going to become somebody once you get one payout. One payout means nothing. $20K a month means nothing if you're not happy in the present moment, and you have to understand that. You never needed $10K a month to be happy or 1 or 2 payouts a month to be happy before you started. Before you started trading, what brought you happiness? What made you happy? I can't say what that is for you. I can say what it is for me. But at the end of the day, if you're not happy now, whenever you start making this money and doing these things, you're not going to be happy. I remember my first payout was about $5K, and I've made $15,000 in the last 20 days, and I feel absolutely nothing. Why? Because I knew it was going to happen for the last 2 years of me losing, and I've just come immune to it because I'm such a robot. I'm just getting rewarded for doing the right things. If you don't love your life now, you're not going to love your life when you hit 10 to 20K months. Nothing is going to change. If anything, you're going to be more depressed, and you're going to become in a loop and lose everything. I've done it multiple times. Learn to love your life unconditionally now before you start making this big money and start really turning profitable. The only thing holding you back from profitability is, quite frankly, you. You are the only person that can click these two buttons right here. You take a loss and you don't get off the chart and you crash out in a revenge trade and blow your account. Yeah, that's you. That's not God. That's not the markets. It has nothing to do with any of that besides your own actions and emotions. And if you can't learn to control that, you're never going to be profitable, and you're not going to be able to do this ever. And you need to start listening to yourself with the data you've already proven, even if losses come. The data that you've backtested over a few months span is, quite frankly, the data you're basing your trades off of. You're putting money on the line every single day when you see your edge, and you have to understand you have a 50 to 70% win rate. So when you take one loss, why are you crashing out? It makes no sense. Like, it genuinely, you really have to think about it like this. Let's say, okay, you have a 60% win rate with a 1 to 2R. You're guaranteed to make your money back. As long as you're taking the same setup and becoming a robot to your system, losses should be nothing. Losses should not be an effect in any single way. But you guys act like when you take one loss that you have so much progress lost, or you're not going to be able to do this, or something tragic is going to happen. Like, it's a part of your system. Like, what you guys need to understand is, if you have a 100% win rate, you would be on fucking Wall Street and be the best trader of all time, like, ever. You just have to understand 50 to 70% is your win rate. You have to understand losses are inevitable. They are going to come, and if they don't come, then good for you. I don't know. So stop crashing out after you take one loss, and you act like there's not hundreds of days to go through the market. Like, look at my P&L. Okay, I go 5 for 5. I get a payout. I lose 1,000. I lose another 1,000. But what happens? I make 1,000. I make 1,000. I make 1,000. I lose 1,000. Lose 1,000. Make 1,000. Yeah, I made 1,000. I went break even. I lost 1,000. I made it back. It's always gonna come back. Just stick to your rules. Stay consistent. And that's the video I have for today.